Puppy doing? I'm having a drink to forget about.
Did he do it, right?
Yes, I know.
You've been heavy on social media to talk about it.
We did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the park.
Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes.
Given that 50 Cent is at the height of his career, it is not surprising that he and Diddy have had a long-running, acrimonious conflict. But in the aftermath of Diddy's recent legal victory, some hip-hop fans have started to suggest that 50 might be utilizing Diddy to become more influential or to stay relevant in the rap industry. Between the history and the headlines, there appears to be a puzzle piece that we are all still trying to solve. Diddy may have snitched on 50 Cent to the police in the early 2000s to protect himself and his record label, according to a conspiracy theory in the underground rap industry. Other rumors, though, were then making the rounds in the streets. After Diddy allegedly helped the police wiretap 50 Cent's phone, a series of events ensued that led to chaos and disaster.
$50
50 Cent was never at the center of the legal dispute, however. By chance, he found himself in the crossfire. It was at this moment that things started to change. Federal agents were already targeting Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., and pretty much anyone who approached the Supreme Team. However, in those crowded streets, loyalty was essential. Nobody was willing to be a snitch or turn against the administration. Consequently, since law enforcement could not get anything from within, they had to find another way. People started saying that that's when they started looking for a wild card. At the time, there was just one person who knew enough to help the authorities in this case. The notion that Diddy was connected to the case comes into play at this point. A significant legal battle in 1999 almost cost Diddy his career and Bad Boy Records. He had joined J-Lo and Shine in a shooting at a nightclub in Manhattan.
A shooting rang out at the then-popular Club New York. Shine was with Diddy, known then as Puffy. His girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez.
The encounter was stranger than expected, and Diddy was arrested as a result.
The truth, sometimes it hurts. Right. It hurts people and they don't want to hear that shit, but I'm trying to tell you, that it's me, because he take me shopping, and it me up, because I'm looking like, what? Just like, I want to take you shopping.
He was convicted of bribery and gun possession and sentenced to a lengthy jail sentence. If Diddy were to go to jail at that moment, it was obvious to everyone that he would lose everything he had battled for, including Bad Boy Records. Pressure like that made it clear he needed to continue to comply with the law.
Rap star Sean Puffy Combs is free on bail after he and his girlfriend, entertainer Jennifer Lopez, were
using any means necessary. Even after he prevailed in the lawsuit, they still monitored him. Diddy understood the moment. In the event that he ever engaged in any shady activities again, particularly those involving gangs or the streets, the bad man was going down with him. It was said that when the police knocked in search of inside information, it became a question of rescuing oneself or sinking with the ship.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted.
Though this was never confirmed, there are also claims that 50 Cent was initially requested to be an informant by the police but refused because he was either hiding something or was too committed to the game. It seemed, therefore, that Diddy had agreed to perform the role.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Moreover, 50 was also not quite clean. A couple of years before the whole Wiretap controversy, he had previously battled with members of the Supreme Team. He nearly lost his life in that action, which put him back in the trenches for 2 years straight. 50 Cent's well-known song Ghetto Curon, which he recorded in 2000, basically revealed every trade secret in the rap industry. It's also common knowledge that 50 Cent never gives up on a project. Among those involved were hustlers, drug lords, and Queen's crew members. He listed their identities, but there was one name in the song that particularly drew my attention: Ultimate. On mixtapes, the song was leaked just before it was released. It was heard by Supreme, and for 50, that marked the start of the end. During that time, the street code forbade dry snitching, as 50 had done with the Ghetto Quran. 50 Cent was penalized for breaking the most important street rule. Later that year, 50 Cent was shot 9 times outside his grandmother's house, and Supreme allegedly called the hit revenge for Ghetto Quran.
I got, shot 9 times, but it was one time. So, and I just didn't see the person coming, or I would avoid.
The police did not formally report the hit, but it was clear what the hit was trying to say. The snitches take the brunt of it. 50 was unexpectedly uninjured, but his career was in tatters. There was no one who wanted to work with him. His record label fired him. DJs stopped playing his mixtapes, and everyone reacted against him, including Diddy, who had collaborated with him before the shooting. And this part made things worse at a time when people thought they couldn't get much worse. Diddy was well known for helping his people, especially struggling artists from the East Coast. At 50, though, the man fell silent. No public support. Nothing. That quiet caused many to start raising their eyebrows. According to other supporters, he may have been only trying to protect his reputation and avoid being banned like 50. There were rumors that he was helping the police and had already struck a deal. Subtle.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even.
He struggled in his 50s to get back on track after a few years. The cops were looking into the jaw rule of Supreme Team Murder Inc. and all of its members. Insider knowledge was necessary in order to bring a legal lawsuit against Murder Inc. But nobody was prepared or strong enough to stand up to the cartel. A few months later, surprisingly, evidence started to surface, including recordings of phone conversations and secret conversations. Somehow, the police had gotten their hands on what should have been top-secret gang intelligence. And there was only one way this could have happened. Thanks to a snitch by an insider, the police were able to wiretap 50 Cent's phone and the entire Supreme squad. Almost all of the team members' phones were tapped. Additionally, this gave the authorities a plethora of evidence against the Supreme Team and Murder Inc., including private conversations about money laundering, drug money, and executed hits. But it was not just that. There were also mentions of 50 Cent throughout these tap phone talks.
Watch the door, don't let nobody come through here. And I said I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and a man ran out naked, and I said that I ain't.
The reason 50 Cent got into a fight that wasn't his or the identity of the offender was both a mystery, and it seemed like a clear-cut case of setup. After noticing certain strange things from Diddy's end, fans started to draw the dots, despite the fact that no official police record was released to identify the informant. Although his silence over 50 Cent's shooting had first sparked suspicions, they weren't strong enough to call him a snitch. As a result, the introduction of the setup hypothesis was made logical. After that, his court matters disappeared entirely. Almost instantly, he was cleared of all previous accusations. But it wasn't just that. His group started to change too.
They got the same outfit.
yeah, it's true.
In public.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. Though. It's a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line, in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, hang out. Yeah. He said, I don't know, maybe I take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because
Diddy shifted his focus from his old friends in the slums to his corporate side of music. MTV, Cyrock, and a few more corporations signed brand agreements with him. By this point, it was clear that Diddy had a reason for giving up street rap. Thus, while Ja Rule, 50 Cent, and Supreme were being beaten by the police and losing, Diddy was quietly making bold moves. But in the end, he was called a snitch because of his conduct.
Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs on other people's albums, on his album, and taking their talents.
He had a solid team of capable lawyers and legal counsel, so supporters started to question whether he had abruptly altered his mind and dropped the accusations. The authorities claimed that he turned in his old circle in order to gain independence for himself and his record label. Hard proof that Diddy worked with the police to establish 50 Cent and the Murder Inc. group as a whole does not yet exist, though. However, as he moved past that phase, 50's public displays of hostility at Diddy took a completely different turn. For a while, Murder Inc. suffered from the many police investigations and accusations. Over time, when conditions worsened, they also lost their footing. However, 50 Cent came out and has continued to voice his dislike for Diddy. And we all know that Diddy was recently the subject of a lengthy and shocking lawsuit that accused him of a number of crimes, including sexual assault, racketeering, prostitution and human trafficking, and money laundering. All of them may seem terrible, but 50 Cent is the only one who has publicly stated how much he likes to see Diddy suffer. Ever since the trial was announced and during every day of the trial, 50 has been more determined than ever to see Diddy fail. And based on the numerous justifications 50 Cent has given in public, people are starting to believe that the Wiretap episode might have been a major contributing factor.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
We probably could have owned a couple of basketball teams, a couple of football teams by now. And we was all in. Puffy said, well, I'm not worried about Astor and all.
A documentary series called Did Diddy Do It? Examines Diddy's lawsuit and alleged entire crimes, as well as the countless high memes that are still trending on Instagram. As he observes Diddy receive a lot of criticism, 50 Cent is obviously having a great time. He is at the head of Diddy's hate train and doesn't seem to be getting off it anytime soon. He has now established himself as the biggest Diddy hater in the world. To the astonishment of many, Diddy was only charged with 5 of the numerous accusations made against him. Some of his supporters have been cheering his release, which indicates that he now has a higher chance of being acquitted. Another demographic is not responding well to the news. 50C is one of these people. 50 Cent's use of the trial to express his long-standing resentment at Diddy has been excellent. But now that the charges against Diddy have been dismissed and he may be out on the streets, the petty king of rap would likely need to curb his public animosity.